welcome to my first fight at the World Chess Boxing Championships in Serbia.
Let's fucking go, baby. Let's go.
So, today is a big day for chess boxing. Alright, I'm going to show you the chess. I'm going to show you the boxing. This sport is so awesome. There's really nothing quite like it. Today is a huge day for chess boxing because later tonight, 60 Minutes, the CBS segment that I grew up watching, is going to be airing its segment on chess boxing and on Team USA, including my one-on-one interview with Bill Whitaker. And I have the chess game here that I'm going to break down for you. I have the boxing footage, but I also have all this behind-the-scenes footage, and I want you to follow kind of my journey as just kind of a normal guy, other than, you know, being a chess player and being delusional enough to take up this sport, in terms of, like, what it's like preparing for someone trying to take your head off. What it's like going into that. So here is some behind-the-scenes footage. And so, my hands are getting wrapped right now. You want to wrap your hands to protect your wrist, protect your knuckles, protect your hand there underneath the glove you're putting on. And my ankle is getting taped. So my ankle is getting taped because I've had, actually, on top of everything, a severe ankle injury. So in June, I had surgery on my left ankle. I had shattered it. Unfortunately, completely unrelated to boxing. But I worked super duper hard in PT to make it here. I would say I was at about 75% on that foot, which was kind of a miracle because this is in September. So, like, really quite the turnaround. It landed me on crutches for a long time. But I worked very, very hard at physical therapy to make that happen. I really thought I was fighting at 2 o'clock. What that was in reference to is, it's not 2 o'clock. It's actually before noon right now. Someone just comes up and is like, Will, you're next. The schedule got pushed way up, and we're not even in a dressing room, a locker room right now. We're just there. We're hustling to get ready. All of a sudden, I'm going to go into, the first time in my life, someone actually, not just like, oh, sparring, I'll work with you. Someone actually trying to take my head off. And I say that in the most literal, in almost a quite literal sense, because as a great chess player, and not as great of a boxer, nobody wants to go back to the chessboard. Nobody's playing for points against you, just trying to out-touch you in the boxing. They're trying to end it in the ring ASAP to not go back to the board, because that's where my win condition is. Remember, chess boxing, alternating rounds of chess and boxing until checkmate or knockout. Out of there. Zone. Nothing else matters. Jermaine is actually a pro boxer. So my guy in the corner on Team USA is actually a pro boxer. So he's been there. He's done that. But it's difficult to describe the sort of adrenaline rush. Play a French. My opponent is French.
We gotta retake the info. We have to take just a little. We need more white tape.
It's in one of these bags. It didn't go.
You didn't come this far across the ocean. You didn't come this far across the ocean. All right. I'm excited to get to the walkout. This was actually funny. My man Canty, you might know him from Chess YouTube. If not, you gotta find him.
Gang, stop playing with us.
Come on, man. Why you in the frame? You got a face for radio.
You got a face for radio. Wait, let me switch speakers here. Is this one a better speaker? No. Hang on. No, let's just go back. Okay. So, we're trying to get loose. We're going to shadow box here. We're going to get loose. And this is actually really funny. when I hit him. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do to get loose here is we're gonna get a jab. Jabs are kind of like your pawns in chess. It's the ones you use most often. It's not exactly the most powerful, but it's kind of the least consequential, least committal to use. Boom. Alright, now my opponent actually walks by. We're practicing clinching. So clinching is literally you grab up in boxing, and it's just a good way to kill time, kind of. But my opponent actually walked by. I didn't know. Where did I hit him? Where did I hit him? I want to show you that. And then we'll get to my fight. It's actually really funny. He's fine. You can take it. All right, so that's a jab, and then the cross is coming to the body to try to get them to lower their guard also for the next punch, which is a left hook coming back upstairs. All right. So we're loosening up, water, all that good stuff. Tying our shoes. Feel good. We also talked about the chess. You got something against the exchange French? This is funny. So he's an IM, I'm an FM, and Canty's also an FM. So three of the best chess players who are there, probably maybe the three best chess players who've ever competed at the chess boxing championships.
Have y'all seen anyone remotely close to the level to even understand the conversation y'all having right now?
Have you seen anyone remotely close to the level to even understand the conversation you guys are having?
You're gonna die, man.
Okay.
It's all boxing, really. It's all boxing. You good? You got it. That's good.
All right. Let's get out there. Oh man, I'm actually so excited to break this down and to share this with you guys.
Hands up, both my hands. You got me? Yes, sir.
He was great. I could not have done this without my corner, Jermaine and Sasha. Biggest shout outs to them. This fight was something, because if someone's much better at chess and my opponent much better at boxing, it becomes a very interesting match, because they really, really are trying to kill you quickly, and you'll see what happens there. That's actually my opponent. I don't even know if I realized that here, actually. I was not really thinking about that. Look at that. Yeah. That's my opponent. France is a big chess boxing country. Huge team. They really support each other. They got a lot of them. Okay, and then you saw my walkout. You saw...
Let's fucking go, baby. Let's go.
Here it is. Here it is. Months and months of training. Right here. All right, we're underway. Like, you sit down. Like, by the way, they do not miss much. You sit down, the bell just rings. You just go. It's go time. Like, the bell rings, clock start. Here we go. They're not wasting any time. So, actually, here, listen to this part. This part's good, and then let's start breaking down the chess game.
First time USA and France are facing off in international competition.
A FIDE Master.
Yeah, wgraif is a two-time New York State champion for chess, joining the likes of Bobby Fischer and other greats coming out from New York, and he is one of the highest-rated members of our team this year, having the FIDE Master title.
Pretty impressive seeing guys on such a chess level these days coming in.
Sports evolving.
That's what I want to see. I want to see all these great chess players.
I want to see all these great chess players. All right, let's see if maybe I actually played great chess. So e4, e6. I said I would play the French opening, and I did. So e4, e6, and d5. So this is considered to be something like pretty solid. I'm not trying to like open the game up and trade a bunch of pieces really quickly. I'm trying to play something where it gives me a good opportunity to outplay my opponent in the long run. Because I'm black, and so I have a slight disadvantage starting out. But my opponent actually just trades off and d4. So having a symmetrical sort of pawn structure and just looking for equality in an easy open game. And I'm, again, trying to complicate that as much as I can. So immediately at this point, I'm thinking sending my king. I'm actually thinking about our kings at this point, because that's what chess is about at the end of the day. I'm trying to castle this way if you're trying to castle that way. I'm trying to castle on opposite sides, and you'll see why immediately. So I play bishop g4. I'm actually only developing my queenside pieces here. They play bishop to e3 to relieve some of the tension on this pawn on d4. I'm playing queen to d7, and I got out of there. Easy, quick moves at the beginning of the game, castled to the queen side quickly, and my opponent castled to the king side. So we both developed our pieces. Okay, why opposite sides? Opposite sides castle means attack. Why is that the case? Well, you're going to note I'm launching these pawns up the board. That's not something I would do if I was on the same side. That would expose my king. But here I'm trying to go up here and tear open this as much as possible and keep this flat and safe and sound in front of my king. Whereas my opponent wants the opposite to happen. They want the action on this part of the board where my king is. So you'll note here, instead of just playing like a normal move like knight to f6 to occupy that square, I play pawn to f6. Pawn to f6, important move. Not only does it take away knight e5, which might have traded a lot of pieces, but it actually also supports g5 in this case, so that the pawn defends against white's pieces, but g5 and gets my pawns going towards their king. Okay, so I play f6, my opponent plays h3, and I have the evaluation bar up here, and you'll note h3 actually does keep the game about equal according to the engine, but for me, I was really, really happy when I saw h3, and I considered this a big mistake by white. Why? So h3 allows me to attack. My opponent, like you'll note, they're playing here a3 and b4, right? So a3 supporting b4 against this knight, and b5, and etc. They're trying to generate something over here. But this pawn gets to b5, and my knight just moves, right? My knight just moves, and then what do? Right? The point of pushing pawns is to trade pawns, right? And so, let's say you send this all the way down here, I'll just push past, and I won't trade it. Trading pawns does two things. It removes defenders around my opponent's king, and it gets rid of them to open up files for my rooks and queens towards you, right? Right now, my pawns are kind of actually in the way a little bit of my rooks. So I'm trying to swap them off the board. With flat pawns, it's hard to trade off. h3 is actually a hook. So now when I'm playing here g5, I'm trying to play g4 and immediately make that pawn trade right away and take advantage of that. So this starts looking very good. My opponent plays knight h2 against that. So, like, let's say they just kind of proceeded with this. They do something here, and now I play g4, right? This could be the end of the game, like, quickly. Like, pawn takes. Now this knight is hit, right? The knight needs to move, and now after queen h7, all of a sudden, like, that's checkmate. That's checkmate. So, like, I just tore open that file right onto your king. Here come my queen and rook, open up, and I can come get you. So, if you're not reacting to what I'm doing at all, I have very serious threats that I'm trying to make, because now you've played h3. I brought my bishop to g4, kind of actually trying to bait this move. And now I come back bishop e6. Now I come back bishop e6. I was very happy to see it. I'm actually not really looking for takes h3, right? Because I get that, like I remove this, but also, like I was saying, it's important to actually get rid of these pawns. If I were able to get rid of these pawns, then I'd have them. But otherwise, no, like they can actually get my queen out of here, potentially with some issues. So that's not what I'm trying to do, but I am looking for some other ideas of tearing open their king. Okay, so g5, they play knight to h2. Very good move. Knight to h2 opens the bishop and the queen here, not kind of stopping h5. It's not so obvious why I should just give that pawn, right? So h5 here, maybe they can just take it and come back bishop g4. That's kind of a useful pawn a little bit, although, you know, I understand the reservation there. But knight h2 otherwise opens that, so it stops g4, it stops h5, so it stops my advancements. For the time being, it is passive, yes, but you know, it keeps their king in one piece. And so I proceed with something else. So this knight not doing anything on g8, I proceed with knight e7. And it's actually an important idea because now I bring it to f5. What's the point of the knight on f5? Well, when I play g4, and I do want to, what I don't want to happen, so like let's say here, let's say I get a couple of moves, and I get in g4, right? So this would be great. Takes, if they take me again, right? Same deal, queen h7. I'm happy to lose a pawn just to open that up. That's also looking great. I'm trying to play g4, but what I don't want to happen, right? I'm trying to make sure these trade. I don't want you to dodge it. I don't want you to dodge it, but that's exactly why I brought my knight to f5, to control this square. So now I would just eat the pawn. So I'm bringing the knight to f5 for that reason, because I'm very singularly focused on attacking your king. Like g4 here. I'll react if I have to, but I won't react if I don't have to. Otherwise, I'm proceeding with my ideas, and my ideas are consistent with using all my pieces. So like I had to use all my pieces and bring them all into the game here. And you'll note all of them do end up doing useful parts. So I bring my knight to f5, and there's also like the other idea of kind of taking here and softening the dark square. So my opponent plays queen to d2, fortifying this bishop here, but I was pretty happy to see it because now I play h5 without any reservation about them possibly taking the pawn over there. So again, b5 doesn't do anything to me. b5, I just move my knight somewhere, and then it's like, okay, what do you do now? Right, so you played a3, b4, what's the point? Well, the point was to play knight to a4, and with knight to a4, you're looking at knight to c5, but hitting my bishop and queen, but I don't need to react to that. I don't need to react to that because this bishop here will simply make the capture, and that's exactly what happened here. So I play your g4, right? You can't play h4, I'm taking it. You can't take it because now it takes, and queen to h7 is going to end the game here with bishop to d6, and it's checkmate down the h line. So that's not really possible. My opponent plays knight c5 anyway, but now I take it, b takes c5. Yes, that's an achievement on the b line, but it's still, you're going to be too slow. You are way too slow because I've already crashed through here, and I've made this trade. I've gotten rid of my g-pawn for your g-pawn, only your g-pawn was much more important because that one was the one protecting your king. My king looking pretty safe and sound over here, and I've torn this open. So things are looking pretty good. Let's actually check into the actual footage.
Getting even more aggressive on that king side. We are seeing some fireworks, a lot of tension with these opposite castle kings.
Good commentary.
As I said, he is a little bit ahead in the race.
A little bit ahead in the race. To attack, right? To attack with these opposite castled kings, as they mentioned in the game. So, I grab that bishop on e3 here after taking on h3, and I'm just going to take this pawn h3. So this is already extremely good for black, right? I've really crashed through. I'll note, like, white, probably, just to rewind a little bit, probably better than, like, a3, b4, which seemed kind of slow. I didn't really recommend anything else for white. I meant to. But I think knight a4 was what I was thinking about in the game, was kind of annoying. Immediately maybe jumping to c5. Now d takes c5. Potentially they can open things up in the middle of the board really quickly. And if you open things up in the middle, it's not so easy for me to just focus over here, right? Knight c5, let's say d takes c5 and c4. Like let's say I played here, knight c5, takes, you know, I went here, now c4. Right, so immediately, like, this is probably trading queens, and their king's looking kind of totally fine in this situation. So that's probably what white should have done. If they wanted to really attack, they could have played with, like, c3, b4, and now looking for b takes c5, right? So b takes c5 actually would open up that b line, allowing them to put their rook and queen here and make some checkmate threats towards me. So I don't know what would have happened in that race, but it would have been interesting. Alas, in the game, what happened here was I crashed through with g4. I simply traded that knight, takes h3, and now I took all the kind of important pawns in front of their king. Bishop takes h3 with the queen's support, hitting the rook. So my opponent actually slides rook here. Of course, I would want my queen on g2, right? Queen g7, but they have queen g3. Right, so queen g7 looking for queen g2 check next turn, but queen g3 here parries that away and looks for a queen trade of their own. Of course, this is still good, being up 2 pawns in the endgame, but I'm trying to end it quickly because remember, I still have to box. I still have to box. So, rook to g8 check. That rook was doing nothing on behind its own pawn. King h1, I slide bishop to g2, king g1, and here is actually where I hear the clicks for the end of the round, and I'm like, damn, if only we could keep playing chess, but I play this move, queen to g7. Here, like, I'll show you. Okay, wait.
Queen hitting on the rook on f1.
10-second warning.
10-second warning. Okay. Okay, so the game's not over. Looks close to over, but is not over.
Position on the board. Big shots ready to be fired, but we are making our way to the ring for the...
Yeah, remember this part? Remember this part of the sport? It's not called chess. They call it chess boxing. Alright. Come with me to my journey. It's my first fight. Get ready with me as I prepare to face... Yeah, get ready with me as I prepare to face a boxer with years and years and years of experience who had already medaled at the Chess Boxing World Championships. Tuck in your shirt. Who's trying to knock me out because he's about to get knocked out on the board. So. Here you go. I'm probably just going to play this, and you're just going to see what happens. You're going to see what happens. I will note, I did turn the tables on this later in the fight. And you might not really believe me, but you'll see it. You'll have to see it to believe it.
This is about to be a clash in the first round.
Oh my god.
center of the ring.
Okay, I got under something there, yeah?
In the center of the ring.
It looks like I got hit by that. Not by that one, though.
Busy start from France coming forward. Good shots landing for France early. Great, using his lead jab to stay away, circling. Keeping his guard up.
Right, so I can't move that well in one direction because of my foot. Right, I'm pushing off the other foot. I'm able to move to my left pretty easily, but I'm also trying to get away.
As those big French shots come through. Nice right hands for France.
Alright, that's a warning to keep the head up. What's happening here, and you've been seeing it on the ducks, is like when I've been practicing, like the ducks were nice and clean and no more than they need to be. But here, like when the nerves are high and someone's actually trying to take your head off, and it's like, oh, it's not like a controlled environment anymore. There's really no way to simulate that. And it's like, oh my god, like something's coming at my head, like, whoa. And then my head got too low. Obviously, headbutting is illegal in boxing. So.
Caution to keep the head up for USA. One hand lands for USA. Jab lands for France. And great.
Holding on for dear life, right? Clinching, we talked about it. You're allowed, you can grab. Excessive clinching is illegal, but if you grab them up, then the ref needs to separate you, and it's a great way to kill time.
And back to the action.
Hands up, hands up, hands up.
Using his space. France landing the jab. He's hit outside of his glove, not inside of his glove, but caution, give it to France. Trey jabs in the center of the ring. Jab getting through for France. William using his jab to stay away from his opponent. Good cross lands for Gray.
I'm just grabbing whatever I can. Tie him up.
Gray in the clinch. Being cautioned not to pull down the back of the neck of his opponent. In the clinch. Circling away. France is pressing the opponent.
You're not escaping my clinch.
Clinch. Creating more distance.
That was the time I really should have kept my hands up. I remember here, like, I'm like, oh my god, you know, this has got to start going better. This is a lot of hits to the head. You know, it's a miracle I'm still on my feet. So, yeah, this was tough. This was tough. This was something. It was a very unique experience. I'm hobbling. I promise I turn the tables.
His guard is up, his feet are moving. He's intelligently defending himself, trying to stay away from France. He's relentlessly pursuing, trying to hunt the head of the USA. William fighting back. 10-second moment.
Oh.
Right hand lands for France. William keeps his feet. And there's the bell. William survives the round. France coming forward.
Yeah, I'm supposed to go over there after the round. Back to my corner to take off the gloves. Oh my god. Okay.
The relentless onslaught, landing a lot of big shots. William keeps his feet, keeps dancing around the ring.
It's not over yet.
And stays alive to see another chess round.
I saw a beaming smile on his face.
I saw a beaming smile on his face, I think, when the bell rung, right?
As the
when the bell rung to end the boxing round. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're back. We're back. Welcome. We're back to the chess. After that, so what we had focused on, and my opponent here plays actually queen g3 to try to parry my threats along here. What we had focused on in making that transition from boxing to chess in all of our practice was calming yourself down, right? So like instead of breathing heavy, right, because you're going right back to the board, you want like really those long exhales. But really what it was like for me in that situation, because like I had just gotten hit, was like, I do not want to go back there. This guy is killing me. What I want to do is like, Lord have mercy on what I'm about to do to this guy's king. Lord, forgive me for what I'm about to do. Like, I need to kill this guy on the board now. I was like fired up, and I was taking that out on the board here. So it was not so bad of a boxing round. You know, like I stayed on my feet. There was no stoppages, but like, you know, your boy definitely got out-touched. I mean, it was my first time really in the ring against someone who's actually trying to hit me, and someone who's actually very, very good, right? Someone who's actually very, very good and has years and years and years of experience in boxing. Whereas I picked up boxing, you know, a year ago just for chess boxing, right? Anyway, so queen g3, trying to trade queens. Better move for white here would have been bishop to g4 check. Bishop to g4 check, actually a very interesting idea because I can't take it here owing to the knight's defense. So pawn takes is forced, and now king takes g2, a really creative way to trade bishops. This is not easy to spot, but it puts my pawn in the way. I didn't even see this during the game. But here, so that now the rook and queen are stymied a little bit by their own pawn, maybe they should switch to this file or rook e8 or something, activating the other pieces. Yes, not pretty for white at all, but they're not getting checkmated anytime soon. Or immediately here. Queen g3, trying to trade queens here. Of course, this is still good for me if I do, but keeping the queens on the board leads to more checkmating opportunities, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I dodged that with queen to e7. Actually, I expected my opponent to just kind of repeat here with queen to e3. So queen e7 actually attacked the queen there. It opened up, by virtue of dodging the queen trade, it opened up that attack. Rook defended the other rook. I expected them to keep hunting for a queen trade here. I was going to try to block it with check, and now maybe look for some other ideas. Rook g2, rook g8, kind of trying to swing around. Something like this, maybe. But they didn't go there. They actually went queen h4, and this was a big mistake because it allowed for me to use this discovery in an actual effective manner. I played here bishop to f3 check, opening that up. And now here they have to either lose their queen with a lot of material or go to their one spot with the king, allowing for queen takes e2 checkmate. And I have to show you the reaction of me and all my teammates here. Wait. Okay.
What's happening in the chess looks more or less like
King over. I was so excited. I was so relieved.
That being said,
Ladies and gentlemen, checkmate on the board. William Grace.
You gotta check out all this behind the scenes footage. I'll show you a few minutes more. I'll speak more about 60 minutes after.
Takes home the first victory for the United States in the 7th Chessboxing World Championship. Official decision in the black corner with the black pieces, winning by checkmate. Give it up, representing USA for FIDE Master William Graif. Well fought by France, coming forward, attacking William, making it very tough for him to make it out of that boxing round.
It was crazy how skinny I got, how much muscle I lost there to lose weight, to make my weight category. Actually, I'm looking at myself now.
But ultimately, falling on the board, William with a big celebration and moving.
Okay, let me show you a couple things. I got the best teammates, man.
Keep staring. Good job. Good job.
Heart of a fucking champion right there.
I can do better in the ring.
Here's what you need. The nerve. Now you overcome the nerve. Now it's time to do. You got me? One down.
This is great.
One down. fucking go! Come on now, let's go!
Set.
Woo!
Bravo, cazzo, bravo.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about, man. That's what we need. We're on the board now. Let's fucking go.
We're on the board now, so no pun intended. We had lost the first match. Team USA had my teammate got knocked out, so this was actually our first win at the World Championships.
All chess and next strength.
All chess and next strength. That's my opponent. I go, I wouldn't have survived another boxing round. He goes, it was my only shot. I go, you went for it. Good job.
Great fight, man.
Yeah, very fine.
Man. Okay, wait. Then I gotta show you what's chatting about this.
Oh, great.
Candy.
Oh, great big one. Oh, easy work. Easy work. French against the French. Yeah, you give me the real name. Yeah.
French against the French. Okay, wait, not this.
The headphones, I don't know if I was wearing them wrong, did not work. I could hear it.
The headphones. So yeah, you saw we put on those headphones earlier during our boxing match. Yeah, that's so like people, you know, can't shout and take advice during your chess game, but they weren't canceling the noise in actuality.
I heard they don't work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said I was able to hear everything. Okay, this was really funny. It's the last thing I'll show you.
He should have stopped the fight when you had him in that first round. That was more than the 8 count. You hit him like 10 straight punches and you stopped the fight.
Did I get him?
Remember when I turned the tables? Boom, boom, boom.
Everyone's telling me how much I turned the tables.
Bro, you did.
I did a 1-2.
I was like, that's the end of the fight. And
Wait, one point was like, oh no, who's about to get knocked out?
One or the other. Somebody get knocked out.
I was calling you Kawasaki.
Joshua situation, yeah.
Your new name Kawasaki.
Yeah.
Will Kawasaki. Will, a lot of you. You told us that shit at dinner last night. You did that, bro.
What did I say?
You said you was on the move.
Oh yeah, I was on the move. Yeah, I gotta move even more.
Right. So, all right. Really appreciate my teammates there. I mean, what a time. What a time. So I'll actually be probably breaking down my other chess boxing matches because this was fun, maybe in like a more structured manner than what I did here. But what a match. What a match. The next one was awesome. Was really awesome. Really high level chess game. My opponent here was like 1800 France in national rating in France. So like obviously no slouch either there. But tonight, 60 Minutes airing on CBS after the Chiefs-Broncos game, 7 or 7:30 Eastern time here, like in New York City. If you want to tune in, you absolutely should tune in. What a crazy sport this is. What a crazy sport. Next fight would be my fight of the year. I'm going to make a breakdown of that one too, and of some of my practice matches as well. I love this behind the scenes footage, and I can't wait to see CBS's actual footage and what they use. All right. See you in the next chess boxing breakdown, and tune in tonight. See you guys later.